All right, we are back from the Catskill Maker Camp in East Durham, New York at the Blackthorne Resort. It was a great time. I had an awesome time fellowshipping, getting to know new people, hanging out with old friends, catching up, learning new things, new skills. But mostly, I rode up there with Ryan from Another Piece of Wood, and he drove, which was grateful, and got to fellowship and got to know him more. He got to know me more, and it was a good time. And so I'm gonna kind of go over some of my experiences at Maker Camp. All good, nothing bad. And what I think between Maker Camp and Workbench Con and my feelings on both and where they fit, at least in my life. And go from there. So first up, we got there on Thursday night, probably about 8. We went to a little bar, little little eatery right there. We stayed in a Wyndham, New York, which is about 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from East Durham. And there's a little place called Zach's Place in downtown, if you want to call it downtown. A little hole in the wall bar with some grub food. We had so got something to eat. Then we went over to the Blackthorne Resort and caught up with some friends. Got to meet Matthew from Wood Mustache. Thanks, Luke. And there were several other people. Got to meet them for the first time. Justin over at Campfire Woodworks. And I'm forgetting people already. It's only like 2 days. Anyway, got to meet some people on Thursday night. Hung out, had a few beers, had a few libations, and Maker Camp started on Friday morning at 10. Jumped right in. Went over to the Hand Tool Rescue. Hand Tool Rescue? That's somebody's Instagram page. The restoration tent hosted by Rob Rojas. And I think her name's Amanda. She helped me out. But basically, you go up there, you pick a tool. They had like old school hand tools, saws, planes, and you basically just picked a tool and you restored it. So this is what I chose, it's a Stanley 110, little hand plane. It was in rough shape, still needs a little bit more work, but we flattened the soles and the sides, kind of cleaned it up. We sharpened the blade, which I didn't know much about sharpening. I've invested in a sharpening system, and so I'm working on that. But I really learned some great tips, not only from Rob but also Amanda. So big shout out to them. But when you got done with it, it was yours to keep. I don't know how much this thing is worth. It's priceless to me because I was taught by Rob and Amanda how to do this properly, and now I'll be able to do all my other hand tools. So big shout out to them. Thanks so much. That's awesome. Well, then we went off, and I never power carved before. So, change hats here. I need to adjust this hat because it's kind of small on my head. Went and power carved Tiff Marchand from the Night Carver Creations, and Jody from Saburrtooth was in the tent. And Tiff said, "Hey, grab a piece of wood, go to carving." So Ryan and myself grabbed a piece of wood. I grab a piece of walnut, and Tiff said, "Why don't you make a wand?" Okay. So I made a wand for the first time ever power carving. This is what I made. It's very simple. I decided to draw the lines and let my imagination run wild. This was a great experience. I then went over to the boys over at Green Street Joinery, where they had a little standing station going on where they were making picture frames, which I did that too. I didn't bring it out here. It's in the house. I gave it to my wife. Yeah. Call me a sucker, but I made sure I brought my wife something home. So I went over there and sanded it down pretty good. And then I went over to Bumbleshoots where Eric and Crystal were and used some Bumbleshoots furniture finish, I believe. And they gave me this little sample bottle of serum here. And I picked up a thing of furniture finish. I need to replenish some of mine. So that's that. That worked out great. It was awesome. And so there's that. First time power carving, I'm going to get my kids some burrs and the little machine we used, the little battery operated machine, so my kids can power carve and safely. Because I did use one burr and a small disc to make this. It took maybe an hour. So awesome little tool. And yeah, I can't wait to get my kids out here. I mean, they're in the shop with me anyway, but give them really something to do and something they can let their imagination run wild. So then there's that. That was pretty much day one on Friday. We ended up going somewhere to eat supper, I think. Or did we eat there? I don't remember. We didn't stay long because Thursday was a long day. Friday was a long day. So I think we ended up leaving a little early and going back to the hotel and kind of chilling out. And Saturday morning was full-fledged again. But it was a deluge, all-day rain. And now I think about it, I think I did this on Saturday. Picture frame was on Friday with the tool restoration. I did this on Saturday. Anyway, whatever, it's done. So there's that. And then Saturday, it rained all day. Didn't do a whole lot. Walked around. I think I did, like I said, I did the wand and a few other things, and that was pretty much a wash on Saturday. We went and grabbed supper, came back after the rain, and hung out with some folks around the bonfire and just chatted and socialized. It was a great time hanging out with everybody. And then Sunday came, and this when I went and learned how to weld. So basically, you went up to the Avid CNC where they plasma cut it out, this flat piece of wood. Then you took it over to a Lincoln Electric tent, and then you learn how to MIG weld. I mean, I've welded a little bit in the past, but not a whole lot. Not enough to call me anything near a novice. But the guy from Lincoln who was there, and then Lucas over at Man Made, kind of gave me some pointers. And not too bad for my first weld job. Of course, I cleaned it up really good. And then we took it over to Bernie from Han Solo. Works by Solo, and I think it was Chad from Mancrafting. And there was someone else there, I didn't catch her name, but they had a little powder coating going on, and so you get to powder coat it, as well as Sin Cut Sin had a bunch of cut out, I guess you call them ornaments, with the Catskill with a year and stuff. And that was pretty cool, so I powder coated those. That came out great. Jimmy DeResta had his print shop going on, so we were able to pick up some prints there, as well as your official ticket to Maker Camp. And yeah, so that was Sunday, but then went over to the Green Street tent, the woodworking tent, and they were giving a giveaway. And I met the folks from Oneida, which was Lauren and her husband. I think his name was Mike. I might be wrong. I'm sorry if it wasn't. I swear, I've met a lot of people, but I think it was Mike, because my name is Mike. Anywho, so I went over there and ended up winning an Oneida hat, which I'll put on now if it'll fit my head. There we go. And some stickers, a hateful of glue bottle, a hateful of tape measure, Montana Brand's center drill bitty thing, the drill driver self-centering bit. And then, if you didn't know it, Green Street Joinery also has a podcast called the Today's Craftsman. So I got a t-shirt as well. So that is awesome. Thank you guys for that. And that was basically a wrap on Sunday for the most part. Didn't really do a whole lot besides watch some blacksmithing. They had a barbecue on Sunday night, which was excellent. And also the Working Hands podcast had their maker swap. And I was on the fence about doing the maker swap this year. This is my first year, but I was like, you know what can I make? So I decided to make a clock. Well, this is my test clock. So basically this is plywood, CNC with black spray paint sanded, and the clock mechanism on it. I really wanted to test it for the back, for the fitment, as well as the alignment and stuff. It's a little bit off right here. So that's what I did. And I entered this, not this one, but another one. I put a picture up over here of it. And the swap was on Sunday. And I was gifted, or I swapped with Evan Watson. He's a hand engraver, and he had gotten a knife and engraved some things on the knife. Maker Camp was one. I put a picture of it right here or somewhere. I was blown away, absolutely blown away that just the craftsmanship in this blade and the detail he put in the engraving. I don't know how long it took him. He has one steady hand. I'll put his link as well down below. Big thanks to Maker Camp and the Blackthorne Resort. It was awesome. Had a great time, even with the weather. You guys, everyone on staff was top notch, and I could not thank you more for an amazing experience. And I will see y'all next year at the Catskills Maker Camp in East Durham, New York. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you later.